Good morning, students. I just want to give a recap of what I have taught you in the previous session. That is, what is corrosion, what are the causes of corrosion, and what are the effects of corrosion. Today we are going to discuss about different types of corrosion. There are two different types of corrosion. One is dry corrosion or chemical corrosion, and the second one is wet corrosion or electrochemical corrosion. The dry corrosion, the name itself indicates that it is observed in the absence of moisture. Wet corrosion or electrochemical corrosion, the name itself indicates that it occurs in the presence of moisture or in the presence of any liquid or electrolyte. Electrochemical. I think you all know the electrochemicals well, where we need an anode, cathode and electrolyte. In those circumstances, when anode, cathode and electrolyte are available, then there occurs electrochemical corrosion. On my pictures which I have been showing you on the slide, one is tarnishing of silver, which occurs in the presence of air or atmospheric gas. That is, presence of chlorine will convert pure silver into a blackened silver. That is because of formation of AgCl, or AgCl layer is formed on the silver metal completely and it appears black. And I would like to go for the classification of corrosion. Dry or chemical corrosion is again divided into three types. Corrosion by oxygen, that is oxidation corrosion. Corrosion by other gases like SO2, CO2, H2S, etc. And third one is liquid metal corrosion. In today's session, I will discuss completely about dry corrosion. Dry corrosion is also known as chemical corrosion, which is because of direct chemical attack of metal surfaces by atmospheric gases. In simple terms, when oxygen, halogen, hydrogen sulfide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen, chlorine or any anhydrous inorganic liquid gases, if they come in contact with the surface of the metal, then this type of corrosion occurs. I am showing few examples for you. That is corrosion of iron, rust formation, a greenish layer that is being formed on the surface of copper, a blackening of zinc or corrosion of aluminium. All these are the examples of dry corrosion. In dry corrosion, the first one is oxidation corrosion. This is very simple. Oxidation corrosion is because of direct attack of oxygen on the metal surface. Generally, this occurs in the absence of moisture, and oxidation corrosion increases with the increase in temperature. So if you go for the mechanism of this, in the mechanism, first the metal undergoes oxidation in the presence of environment of oxygen. Oxidation of metal means metal loses its electrons. These electrons which are given by the metal are readily accepted by oxygen, and oxygen is converted into O2 minus ion, that is oxide ion. So Mn plus, here this is Mn plus combines with O2 minus and gives a metal oxide layer. So finally, because of attack of oxygen, the surface of the metal develops a metal oxide layer. So you can see here like this. This is the original metal. When the metal comes in contact with oxygen, so metal is coming in contact with oxygen, metal loses its electrons. The electrons are accepted by oxygen and we have O2 minus ion. Mn plus ion of the metal and O2 minus ion of the oxygen combines to form a layer called metal oxide layer, which is shown in the cross lines here. A metal oxide layer is formed. So this is a simple figure to explain oxidation corrosion. Oxygen will attack all the metals, but at ordinary temperatures, metals are slightly attacked, but at high temperatures, all metals are attacked by oxygen and are oxidized to form metal oxide layer on the surface. Except noble metals like Ag, Au, Pt, that is gold, silver and platinum, all metals are attacked by oxygen. Especially alkali and alkaline earth metals, they are attacked by oxygen not only at high temperatures but are also at low temperatures. So, depending upon the formation of metal oxide layer, I think here I have given a clear diagram. This is a metal block. When it comes in contact with oxygen, it develops a metal oxide layer on the surface. Basing on the type of metal oxide layer that is formed, we can predict further oxidative corrosion occurs or not. So there are 4 types of metal oxide layers. One is stable metal oxide layer. Second one is unstable metal oxide layer. Third is volatile metal oxide layer. Fourth one is porous metal oxide layer. Stable, unstable, volatile and porous. If it is a stable metal oxide layer, these type of films, oxide films, are formed on the metals like aluminium, chromium, copper, lead and tin. These stable metal oxide layers, they form a thick film on the surface of the metal and they protect or prevent the metal to undergo further oxidative corrosion. So, stable metal oxide layers, they prevent further oxidative corrosion and they don't allow the metal surface to come in contact with oxygen again. Unstable metal oxide layers, the oxide film formed on the surface of the metal readily gets decomposed. That means, for example, you think this is gold metal or silver metal. When gold comes in contact with oxygen, a metal oxide layer is formed. But this metal oxide layer readily decomposes, metal remains as it is and oxygen is separated from the metal oxide layer. So, a decomposed metal oxide layer is formed where there is no corrosion at all. Reason why? Gold, silver and platinum are costly. The metal is not lost because of corrosion. And the third one is volatile metal oxide layers. The metal oxide film formed gets volatilized. That means the film formed on the surface, the yellow color layer is metal oxide layer, which is formed on the surface gets volatilized, it gets evaporated. So along with the oxide layer, we will be losing the metal. Best example is molybdenum. Molybdenum, when comes in contact with oxygen, a molybdenum oxide layer is formed, which is highly volatile. So in this type of metal oxide layers, we can predict a continuous and rapid oxidation corrosion. If the metal oxide layer is formed is porous, that means the metal oxide, this yellow color layer which is formed, it may develop some pores or it may develop some cracks so that oxygen can enter into the metal and the fresh metal is readily reacting with oxygen continuously, or the metal ion can move outside of the metal surface towards the metal surface and get in contact with the metal continuously. So in porous metal oxide layers, the metal oxide contains pores or cracks on the metal oxide film, so there will be some corrosion continuously. When iron, when attacked with H2S at high temperatures, it forms porous FeS layer. So ferrous sulfide layer is formed on the surface of pure iron. So there are 4 different types of layers. Stable metal oxide layer, no further corrosion. Unstable metal oxide layer, no corrosion at all. Volatile metal oxide layers, the metal oxide layer is highly volatile, rapid corrosion occurs. Porous metal oxide layer, there will be continuous corrosion because the metal oxide layer develops pores. Oxygen can come enter in and create and help in further corrosion. So these are the nature of the metal oxide layers that are generally formed on different metals. There is a rule called Pilling-Bedworth rule. Basing on the metal oxide layer formed on the surface of the metal, we can predict whether the layer formed is protective or not. If the volume of the metal oxide layer that is formed on the surface is greater than the volume of the metal, then the metal oxide layer formed is non-porous and protective. If the volume of the metal oxide layer is greater than the volume of the metal, then the metal oxide layer formed is non-porous and protective. That means if volume of the metal is high, metal oxide layer is high, the layer formed is protective and it prevents further corrosion. Or you can in the other sense, if the volume of the metal oxide layer is less than the volume of the metal, then the metal oxide layer formed is porous and non-protective. That means it helps in further corrosion. So this is called Pilling-Bedworth rule. According to this rule, we can calculate specific volume ratio. What is the specific volume ratio? Specific volume ratio is volume of metal oxide by volume of the metal. If this ratio is high, the layer formed is non-porous and oxidation corrosion decreases. If this ratio is less, the metal oxide layer formed is porous and oxidation corrosion increases. For example, if you go for nickel, chromium and tungsten, the specific volume ratio of nickel is 1.6, chromium is 2.0 and tungsten is 3.6. So, the volume of the metal oxide layer formed on tungsten is high. So, specific volume ratio is 3.6. So, tungsten is corrosion resistant when compared to nickel and chromium. So, this is about oxidation corrosion. We have discussed about the mechanism of oxidation corrosion. This slide. Later, I have given an information that all metals at high temperatures they undergo corrosion except noble metals. Even noble metals will undergo corrosion at high temperatures. At the same time, this was the diagram which predicts oxidation corrosion. Metal when comes in contact with oxygen, it forms a metal oxide layer. So based on the metal oxide layer formed, we can predict whether further oxidative corrosion occurs or not. There are 4 types of metal oxide layers. Stable metal oxide layer. Volume of the metal oxide layer is greater than volume of the metal. No further corrosion according to Pilling method. Unstable metal oxide layer. The metal oxide layer formed is readily decomposes, so no corrosion at all. Example, platinum, gold and silver. Volatile metal oxide layer. The metal oxide layer formed on the surface of the metal immediately undergoes decomposition, evaporation, or it is volatile. So rapid corrosion occurs. Example, molybdenum oxide layers. Porous, alkali and alkaline earth metals, they develop porous metal oxide layers. That means the metal oxide layer develops some cracks or pores so that continuous corrosion occurs and it leads to further oxidation corrosion. So these are different types of metal oxide layers, and this is the rule and specific volume ratio which we have discussed. This completes our oxidative corrosion. And the next one is corrosion by other gases. Irrespective of oxygen, there are some other gases in the atmosphere that may cause corrosion. The figures which I am showing here, this is silver. This is tarnishing of silver. Here I think you can observe here on the top side corner, right side. This is pure silver. When it comes in contact with some chlorine gas, they become black silver particles. So the silver developed a black color coating on the surface. If you see, depending on the chemical affinity between metal and the gas, they form a protective and non-protective layers on the metal surface. Gases like carbon dioxide, SO2, Cl2, H2S, fluorine, bromine, iodine have corrosive action on metals. For example, pure silver, when it comes in contact with chlorine gas, it forms a protective layer called AgCl. If the film can be immediately destroyed by washing with some nitric acid. For example, chlorine gas can also attack tin to form SnCl4. The chlorine gas can also attack tin to form SnCl4. So upon the surface of tin metal, if chlorine attacks, it forms SnCl4 layer which is highly volatile. So SnCl4 is an example of volatile metal oxide layer which is formed because of corrosion of other gases. In the same way, you can also go through iron. If it comes in contact with H2S, Fes layer is formed. Iron, if it comes in contact with Cl2, FeCl3 layer is formed. That is about corrosion of other gases. And the last one is liquid metal corrosion. This type of corrosion is found in nuclear power plants. And for example, it is due to the action of flowing liquid metal at high temperature on solid metal or alloy. Liquid metal corrosion, I just want to show a diagram for you. For example, this is solid metal, and imagine that there is a hot liquid flowing on the surface of this solid metal. Imagine this as a solid metal and hot liquid is flowing on the surface of the solid metal. So this is called liquid metal corrosion. The liquid is hot and this is a metal surface. Then there are 2 possibilities for this type of corrosion. First one is, this corrosion occurs because of dissolution of the solid metal by the hot liquid. This hot liquid which is flowing on the surface of the metal can dissolve the solid metal. Second one is, this liquid can penetrate